Today, the emergence of computers and various accounting technologies have made life in the offices easier. However, over the past 40 years, the world paper consumption has increased by 400%. Officials, lawyers, and financiers are breaking all records in the amounts of paper they use. Due to one of these employees, 17 trees per year disappear. It is almost impossible to do without paper. People read books, sign documents, wrap up gifts, hang wallpapers. Children write in their notebooks and fly paper aeroplanes, while adults use paper to wipe their tears or even to pay. In vain, fans of modern technology predict its oblivion. It will not happen soon. Paper is ideal for writing and reading. It is snow white, so ink is clearly visible on it. But it did not used to be so. Until the 18th century, paper was gray-brown and reading severely impaired vision. What was it made of before? The first paper known to man was not paper, it was papyrus. The interlaced stems of the plant were pressed and dried. The resulting material became one of the symbols of ancient Egyptian culture, but the Egyptians did not want their writings to be taken out of Egypt, so the rest of the world had to look for an alternative. It was found in the Turkish city Pergamos by starting to use for writing the raw skin of young animals, parchment. It had its advantages over papyrus. It neither burns nor soaks. Due to this, parchment is still used in the British Parliament for printing important documents. However, parchment was not suitable for mass use as it was too expensive and too rare, and people always wanted to read. The solution came from China when a prototype of modern paper was invented. They took ground wood bark mixed with ash and water. The dried and compressed mass formed a sheet of paper ready to be filled with knowledge. The cheap material scattered around the world as paper aeroplanes, finding its use in new and unusual areas of human life. Today, most of the produced paper goes to printing houses. Newspapers, magazines, and books are printed today in high-tech factories under the careful supervision of professionals. Each sheet passes through stages of tests before going to press. Since the sheets can be very easily damaged, they are transported exclusively by a special conveyor. From there, the paper enters the printing press, where, under the influence of high temperatures, the paint literally burns into the sheet. The paper is given the necessary size and texture. Now, it's not just recycled wood chips, but a valuable source of information. There is 400 tons of paper annually manufactured in the world. The production needs both raw materials and colossal amounts of energy, so paper is the 5th place in terms of energy consumption. Another resource necessary to create a snow-white sheet. Water. Paper production is a leader in water consumption. And now, let's remember that 80% of the produced paper is covered with ink and paints. It is typographic paints that pollute water if the paper is dissolved, and air if it is burned. But all these problems fade against the main one: deforestation. The number of cut-down forests is growing every year, and only few corporations are starting to think about planting new ones. At today's pace, the forests will end in 50 years, and the air we breathe will go with them. Proper disposal of paper mitigates the impact on the environment. Of course, this is not an ideal option, because recycling of waste paper also gives waste in the form of chemical dyes. But the production of just 1 ton of paper from waste paper halves energy and water consumption, while harmful emissions into the atmosphere decrease by 70% and saves 17 trees. And it's easier to do that than it seems. You just throw the sorted paper into the right bin, and the result is a living and breathing planet. Now, you will definitely find time not only to build a house and raise a son, but also plant a tree.